Good morning, ladies and gents. It is a beautiful Monday morning in Southeast Texas. I'm coming to you live because we got to do our civic duty. We're going to the library to stand in line to vote. Now, can our AI student driver Fsd Supervised 12.5.4.1 get us there safely? Let's find out. All right, we get her started here. I don't mind voting so much. Here in Southeast Texas, I tend to vote a little more blue than red, but I definitely don't go straight ticket Democrat. As far as presidential candidates and senators, got a cooler in the back seat. I guess we're gonna be sliding that around all day today. There it goes. I'm pretty set on who I'm gonna vote for. I'm not on any one team. I'm not team Democrat or team Republican. I tend to follow the money. Where these people get their money from influences the way I vote. Wow, that's going to be hella annoying. But it is what it is. Yeah. I've already seen 4 years of Trump. I don't mind it. I have no problem. 10 years in the military. I served under George W. Bush. I served under Obama. Either way, it does not matter to me. I think 20 years ago, I was a little more hyperbolic when it came to politics. After serving in the military and living a great deal on this earth, everybody's kind of like in the middle, right? And there's some things that some people agree on, and then there's some things that people just, I don't know how to put this. Politics is a sticky situation because everybody tends to have their emotions lapped up in it, which is, it's one thing, but I'm not a fanatic when it comes to either political party. I will vote for who I think best represents me or best represents the ideals and values that I have, right? So, and many people have their own reasons, right? Some people vote with their wallet. Some people, vote one particular issue. I really look at everything and see who's going to best represent our country. So, as I get FSD to drive me to the polling station on this early voting morning of Southeast Texas, part of me, I'm on X. I see all of Elon Musk's comments. He is obviously going to be voting for Donald Trump. I will not be. I've already seen what he has to offer, and quite frankly, wasn't impressed. But it's not like he did an awful job. It's just it didn't impress me. So, if he gets elected and Elon Musk thinks it's best for his companies, it's not like I'm going to be like, I'm moving away if Donald Trump gets reelected. No, it's not that serious. But I've had enough of the revolving door advisors. January 6th weighed heavily on me, still does. I don't think that's what anybody that served wants to see, regardless of who wins. The peaceful transfer of power is really big for me. So regardless of what the election, turns out, Trump, Harris, I fully expect Biden to not be like, nah, I'm gonna keep it. I expect them to hand it over to whomever the democratic process sees fit to be our next head of state. I don't really talk about politics in my videos too much. Again, it's because I'm not a fanatic. I do believe it's important. I believe everybody should engage in their civic duty. And if you don't like the process, or if you don't like what's going on, you should be actively involved, whether it be judicial reform, education reform, gun control, whatever is your topic, and you feel that strongly, that passionate about it, then you should be involved. But you shouldn't let it, I'm not about the hyperbolic divisiveness. I don't like how it divides us. Like it's either this or that. You can only be with me or you're against me. I don't deal in absolutes. I'm not a Sith Lord, at least not in my eyes. I don't know. I understand its charges, just like talking about religion. I got my thoughts there as well, but they're my thoughts. I mean, is it right? Is it wrong? Who knows? But the beauty of this country is that I can have my car drive me to a polling station at 6 o'clock in the morning, wait for the polls to open up at 7 a.m., and exercise my right to have my voice heard in whatever fashion. Whether you're informed or ill-informed, whether you're passionate or dispassionate, or whether you're, voting with your wallet, voting with your conviction, everybody's got their own thing going on. So I believe in democracy. I believe in whatever your opinion is, you should exercise and have that opinion heard. And then if the rest of the world agrees, then Trump gets another term. Or if the country sees fit to have our first female president, so be that too. I just don't want to see another January 6th. I don't want to. That is. Ugh. Either way, I think I'm done. I'm going to vote, and however it turns out, my vote here is in Texas. Trump will probably get all of these votes here in the great state of Texas. Ted Cruz, not a huge fan, haven't been, so I will be voting for potentially the first black senator. But that's just me. Will either of these candidates that I vote for win? It's not the point. I'm just exercising my right to pick the individuals that I think best represent my values. And if they f it up, I will definitely be on the other side trying to get them out. Just not I think we're all on the same team. I look at the Republicans as playing offense and the Democrats as playing defense. And how I look at it is, I think the Republicans are good for some things, and I think the Democrats are good for some things. And I think if you let either one of them in power for too long, you'll get heir to the, you kind of need a balance. So I'm done with Ted Cruz. that's just the nature of the business. That left during the freeze, I'm done with that. So, amongst some other things, I think it's time for some new blood in there, and let's see if we can get some different ideas here in the great state of Texas. The main thing is, I want every one of the candidates that I select to be very open to innovation. We're in the most revolutionary time period. Like, it's moving fast. So we need candidates that are also going to be open to moving as fast as we possibly can, because we're it. We run the technological space around the world as of right now. So I don't know. Again, it's all temporary. If you don't like who's in office, you can always put them out. And I know this is contrary to to Elon. I've got all my money in freaking Tesla. Like, all of my spare change is in Tesla. Can we get inside? How are we gonna do this? Look at this. Look at this. Good job, FSD. What are you gonna do here? What are you gonna do here? Oh! Technically, I probably wouldn't have went this way. I'd have went to the other side, but we're here. We won't be first in line, but we won't be last in line either. So, and that's my little tiff on politics. You may agree, you may disagree. I'm just not a fanatic. And I think as long as we are adhering to the rules of law, we will be just fine as a country. The hyperbolic situations, it just rubs me the wrong way. So we finally got here. Our AI student driver, there was report. There was a mild report when it came to that rare edge case in the, traversing and to get to the library. But we'll flag it. Maybe the AI team will see that and we'll get that corrected. But for the most part, we arrived here safe, sound. Do your civic duty, regardless of who you're going to vote for. I'm on Team America. I want the best for Americans, and it would be chaotic if we don't have our voices heard. So, but we also have to be open to maybe our guys might not get elected. So, and with that, if you don't like it, be more engaged in the political process. Elon is taking a full-throated measure to do so, and I respect that. He thinks Donald Trump will be the best for his companies. And, I'm not opposed to that. It's very possible. I just think the pace is going to be the exact same. It's been the past 4 years under the Democrats. While it's been contentious, to say the least, right? I see them not invite Elon to the EV summit at the White House. That's kind of up. But the car company is being restored to all-time highs when it comes to sales. I don't think his political opinions are alienating individuals that like the best product available to them. So the Democrats that are trading in their EVs to get Rivians or Lucids or whatever the heck they're getting, I think that's few and far between. People that understand that Elon can be Elon and still make the best product available. I think that's the majority of individuals. I'm going to go vote for Kamala Harris, still respect Elon's decision to vote for Donald Trump, and still have the majority of my money invested in Tesla stock like a normal, sane human being. So, and regardless, what happens on November, on Election Day, this will still be the country that I love, the country that I chose to serve, and the country that has welcomed me and the wife I brought back from Japan, and we're doing just fine. There's no other country besides Japan that I'd rather be in, and we're gonna stay here as long as we want and probably retire back into her homeland. But yeah, this is the greatest country on the planet for a reason, and it's partly because of our process here. All right, I've rambled on long enough, so I'm gonna go in there, stand in line for about 30 minutes, cast my ballot, and let's get back out there. Our civic duty is complete. I voted. Maybe they'll just stop sending me these text messages now. Maybe. Either way, while I was standing in line to vote, we actually witnessed an accident. A individual basically crashed into a bus that was creeping along. And yeah, that's a very unfortunate thing. I think it's time to end this human experiment of driving, and let's get our AI student driver more and more practice here. We're about to pass the crash site now. It's really unfortunate. The person crashed into the vehicle going into, more than likely to vote, and hit a slow-moving school bus. Probably not paying attention. Slammed into it pretty hard, actually. So I don't think there were any children on the bus. Just goes to show that we need to remove the human element of driving. Right now we're in a school zone going about 20. It's actually doing pretty good in this school zone right now. I'm actually kind of amazed. So our AI student driver, there's plenty of room in front of us to just go the speed limit of 30, but it is maintaining the school zone speed limit of 20 miles an hour. That is quite amazing. Good to see, especially after we just passed an accident with the school bus. So, but yeah, civic duty complete. And now we're just headed back. I don't know if I want to grab breakfast for Yosh-chan or not. I think we're good. Chewy's got another hair appointment. Get him a little so fresh and so clean. But our AI student driver has been quite wonderful. Every now and then we'll have some disengagements, some edge case situations. But I'd say 90 to 95% of our driving is conducted by our AI student driver. We're out of the school zone now. Speed limit is now 40 miles an hour. A gentle acceleration to the speed limit. This is comfort, ladies and gentlemen. The best luxury is technology. There's no vehicle on the market that has Tesla FSD. So we were only there for a little about an hour. So standing in line to casting our ballot took a little less than an hour. We were one of the first 15 people in line, so that might have something to do with it. The line was huge down here at the Katy Library. So do your civic duty. Whoever you decide to vote for, make sure you get your opinions heard. This, we'll have to look back at this. I'm pretty sure we probably should have went, but our AI student driver chose to stop at that yellow light, probably a bit prematurely. So we're gonna report, let the AI team take a look at that. The car behind us, they definitely weren't expecting us to still be here. So I'm glad they didn't run into us. This is just one of those little things, like maybe I should have hit the accelerator, but if the FSD saw something that I did not want to be victim of some kind of cross-traffic situation. So probably an error. We'll take a look at this. You tell me, what do you think? Should we have proceeded through this four-way light, or should we have stopped? I think the people behind us would say you shouldn't be here. So let's take a look. I reported it. We'll move forward. That was kind of scary. All right, the green light. We now proceed. So that might have been a little too cautious with a yellow light there. I think we're approaching another school zone here. Let's see how our AI student driver handles that. getting over, just like I would. I believe the cars in this lane are going to school. So 25 miles an hour is the speed limit here. For school zones anyway. We are going in the 25. I'm actually kind of impressed. The school zone stuff seems to be working really, really well. I always like the conversations while we're standing in line. We stood in line for a good 30 minutes or so. And we had a conversation with a nice woman. She, mild conversation about nothing. You know what I mean? So it's very civil is basically what I mean. So civil conversation. Nothing really political. I did hear some people in the front of the line talking about battery electric vehicles in Florida catching fire. I have to resist the urge not to interject myself in other people's conversation, especially when they're like 8 people above me. Like 8 people ahead of the line of me yelling the joy of a battery electric vehicle, or that, there are multiple types of fires, each one should be extinguished with its unique set of tools, right? You just don't attack every fire with a CO2 extinguisher, you know what I mean? So having our firefighters equipped to battle battery electric fires, right? That's the goal, not to dismiss EVs because the fires are ridiculous, right? No, that's not the answer. So, all right, we're technically not in the school zone when this is flashing, so this isn't flashing. We're going a fairly normal speed. There is a Tesla behind us, I do believe. Maybe that's not a Tesla, I don't know. I can't tell. Either way, so it's just I love the conversations that people have every day. I'm so isolated in the house that I don't really, unless I'm at the bar, I don't really get to see people too much. So it's really good to just listen to everyday conversation, be a part of everyday conversation, even if it's talking about nothing. So a win-win all the way around today. Typically, I would talk about the EV news last week today, but I think urging people to do their civic duty, I think that's a little bit more important. It's early voting here in Harris County, so if you're in Harris County, make sure you get to the polls early and often. Like I said, even on the first day, the line was huge. So you want to get there, knock it out, have your voice heard, and then move on with your life, right? So that's my advice for today. I'm just rambling. I don't know what to talk about. I've really, in this video, I've exposed my political leanings. Even though I voted for a lot of Republicans on that ballot, just because here in Harris County, a lot of Democrats go unopposed, right? So forcing individuals to, cooperate with each other from the other side of the aisle, we don't want a one-party state. So I did a little bit of research, not a lot. I did a little bit of research of, the Republicans opposing some Democrats in some of the districts, right? I didn't vote for all the Republicans, but there were some that I was like, all right, let's see how you do. Will they get elected? Probably not. This is Harris County. It's pretty blue. But my opinion is that if, they deserve a chance to do right. And then if not, we kick them out, right? So there wasn't anything alarming in the research that I conducted on like 6 or 7 of those Republican judges. So, you know, I never go straight ballot. Railroad Commission, I want to say I went Green Party. Probably not gonna get elected, but it's what I wanted to see, so why not? I don't vote for the winner. I vote for the one that I think that will be best at their civic duty. And I could be wrong. I could be right. This is just one voice in millions. Hopefully. Hundreds of thousands? That's probably more likely, right? Hopefully more people vote. So that's all I'm saying. That's what it's all about. Make them earn it, you know? That's what voting is really about. Making the candidates earn it. There's no reason to keep somebody in office just because they have an R or D by their name. You really need to see what they've been doing and whether or not you want that to either continue or something to change. So that's what I look at. My life is pretty good. So I'm not saying that we need radical change, but a shakeup of ideas couldn't hurt. Well, I think we opted to forego grabbing breakfast. We might make breakfast. How about that? We got some tortillas at the house. We can make some breakfast tacos for the lady. But I feel pretty good. Feel accomplished. I voted today. I recommend everyone vote. Vote to your heart's content. Do research. Don't do research. Vote with your emotions. Don't vote with your emotions. Vote with your wallet. Don't vote with your wallet. Vote your convictions. The point is vote. And kind of be engaged in the political process. Understand what's happening, who's being elected, and for how long. And then, you know, make a decision. And if it's the right one, who knows? The beauty of our system is that it is structured in a way that no one individual, even the President of the United States, can break it. Right? It would take a lot to break our political system. So, you know, it's not a hyperbolic life or death situation no matter how you cast this ballot. Cast it in the way that you feel comfortable and you'll be just fine. But make sure your voice is heard. That's all I got for you today. Our AI student driver got us to the ballot, got us back. There might have been a couple of reports in the way, but that's what we're doing. It's an AI student driver. We're going to fix those mistakes and eventually cure the ailment of human driving. Be easy. Bird.